Good morning, students. So, in earlier class, we discussed about the classification of the substations. So, based upon the construction or design, indoor substations as well as the outdoor substations, and advantages as well as disadvantages of both indoor and outdoor substations are discussed in earlier class. So now, today's class we are going to be discuss the substation layout and identification of the each and every component in substation layout, and the description belongs to each and every component of the component in the substation. So let us see the layout of the substation. So all of you carefully listen here. So this is the simple layout of the substation. The 33 kV incoming line is a sub-transmission or a transmission line. This is entering into the substation through a controlled switch and a lightning arrestor set. And this incoming feeder is to be divided into two parts. So part one, why this is to be divided into two parts in the sense, based upon the convenience for the substation staff to supply power to the consumers. So it is all the devices in the substation is continuously operating 24/7. So definitely there will be a repair and maintenance problem is repair as well as servicing is one of the major concern, by which they are arranging alternating circuit. One circuit has any trouble. So that's why it is split into two parts. And after splitting, it goes through a 33 kV go switch per unit 1. It is to be divided in 2 units. Per unit 1, we are talking about the unit 1. The unit 1 unit 1 feeder, which is entering into the substation and transformer premises through a 33 kV go switch per unit 1, and after this it directly goes to the input of the transformer. So the transformer is a 33/11 kV transformer, and this transformer converts the 33 kV into 11 kV 3-phase. And then there is a incoming circuit breaker, OCB, incoming 11 kV. OCB means oil circuit breaker per unit 1. So circuit breaker, isolators, go switches, all these are the protective devices. The operation is to be carried in a proper manner. We are using all these protective switches. Yes, and this one is after the circuit breaker, then goes to a bus bar. Bus bar is a common conductor for incoming as well as outgoing accessing lines. So in this bus bar, there are 4 outgoing feeders, 4 outgoing primary feeders. So each feeder goes through an isolator, circuit breaker, again isolator, and reactor. A reactor basically used for current control. So all the outgoing feeders are going through the isolator, circuit breaker, again isolator, and reactor. So this is the unit 1 organization, and you come for the unit 2, a 33 kV, again the same structure what we discussed in the unit 1. Yes, so 33 kV go switch per unit 2, and the same transformer. There are 2 transformers, 2 main transformers in the substation. So both transformer cannot operate simultaneously. One operate at a time, and the other is spare. So the operating transformer has any trouble, then the line is to be diverted to the rest of the transformer. Yes. So then incoming 11 kV circuit breaker, the same fashion again here 11 kV bus bar, and this bus bar also feeds the 4 outgoing primary feeders through isolator, circuit breaker, again isolator and reactor. Isolator and circuit breaker are automatically operated switches under no load and loaded conditions, but whereas reactors are the current controlling elements. Is so these are outgoing feeders. Is so this is a single line diagram of a 33 by 11 kV substation. The general view of the a 33 by 11 kV substation is so. With this, we can identify these so many devices in the substation. So let us list out what are the devices in the substation. Yes. So from the incoming 33 kV onwards to the up to the outgoing primary feeder. So what are the various components which are functioning in the substation in the point of maintenance, in the point of protection, and in the point of service? Everything is to be considered into account. So we have to identify various components in the substation. So in this regard, the first one is the power transformer. So why power transformer is initiated at it? Very first is the heart of the substation is power transformer. Then circuit breakers. Then disconnecting switches. Then station buses and insulators. Station buses, bus in the sense bus bars, buses and insulators, and current limiting reactors. So those reactors are essential to limit the current, and shunt reactors. So we will discuss one by one. The description of each and every component is going to be discussed one by one. Shunt reactors. So what is the shunt reactor? What is the role of the shunt reactors? And series capacitors, then shunt capacitors. So already we are having awareness on the series capacitors and shunt capacitors. Series capacitors are used for stabilization of the voltage at the loadings, and shunt capacitors are used for the power factor correction. Yes, and current transformers. So current transformers, then potential transformers. So these all are measuring instruments to measure high voltages as well as the high currents. And similarly, capacitor voltage transformer, coupling capacitors, grounding system, lightning arresters or gaps, line traps, protective relays, and station batteries and others. So you see here, all the whatever may be the equipment which is to be listed out in the substation, all the equipment comes under this layout. So this topic is particularly substation layout and the list of the substation equipment, and describe each and every equipment. What's the role of each and every one? So in this regards, so let us go for the one by one. The first one is isolator. Yes. So what is the isolator? Isolator is a switch. Isolator is a switch. We all know very familiarly. Isolator is a switch meant for closing or opening the circuit under no load condition. So when any trouble arises during the circuit under no load, the isolator is automatically trip and close, open or close. Yes. So similarly, circuit breaker. This is also isolator and circuit breaker are the most important protective devices for the distribution system. So these are switches. Circuit breakers are also switch, which will operate automatically under heavy overloads or faults. So if they can be closed or opened on load as well as under fault condition. So both are switches. Isolator, circuit breaker, both are switches. But isolator operates under no load condition, but breaker operates under loaded condition as well as faulty condition. In both conditions, in faulty condition, in addition to the original current, there may be excessive currents are to be generated in the system. So these excessive currents are to be simply diverted by tripping the breaker. Yes. So that's why without breakers or isolator, there is no electrical system. These two switches are automatically operated in the protection point of view. Next, protective relays. So this is the basic device for functioning with the circuit breaker. These are installed for protection of equipment against faults or overloads. So similarly, power transformer. Power transformer is the main transformer in the substation. So what it does in the sense, it takes the power from the transmission system and transfer the high voltages into low voltage. So these are used in substation to step down the supply voltage. Distribution transformers operate from no load or light load or full load condition with varying power factors. So there may be a tap changing also there. When voltages are exceed, the tap is automatically changed. These are used in substation to step down the supply voltage. And distribution transformer operate from no load to no load or light load or full load condition with varying power factors. So like this, you have to be describe each and every component, which is useful for the even for 2 marks point of view also. Next, instrument transformers. So there are 2 instrument transformers as per our substation instruments are to be concerned. One is the potential transformer, other one is the current transformer. So what is the role of the potential transformer and current transformers? In the sense, the potential transformer PT, current transformer CT, these two are simply says that measuring instruments. These are used to measure high voltages as well as high currents. So instrument transformers are used to protect personnel and operators from high voltage. Second one is to permit the use of reasonable insulation levels and current carrying capacity in relays and motors. So you observe here, these are CT and PT are the instrument transformers. So these are used for protect personnel and operators from high voltage. And second one is to permit the use of reasonable insulation levels and current carrying capacity. And the next one is indicating and measuring instruments. See here, indicating and measuring instruments. So there are so many meters which are continuously monitoring the substation, like ammeters, voltmeters, power factor meters, energy meter, KVR meters. So all these meters are installed in the control room, and all the equipments are interfaced through the control room and monitoring the regular position of the load over a 24. How the load curve, everything is to be drawn in the sense with the help of all these meters. All values are to be recorded and measuring. Some indicating instruments, some recording instruments, all the type of instruments are purchased and initiating in the substation control room to record the status of the substation functioning. So ammeters, voltmeters, power factor meters, energy meters, KVR meters are installed in the substation for control and measurement purpose. In case of all substations, including 33/11 kV, it is necessary to provide recording voltmeters so that the voltage profile of the substation has to be known. Yes. So this is about the indicating and measuring instruments. And then the next one, this is the most important one, bus bar. So bus bar already discussed in case of the layout of the substation. Bus bar is the intermediate heavy duty conductor between the incoming voltages as well as outgoing feeders. Yes. So bus bars, these are heavy duty conductors. Bus bars are heavy duty conductors which can carry entire load current corresponding to the capacity of the substation, and also fault current for few seconds. If any faults unexpectedly happen, it also carries the fault currents for a few seconds until the breakers are to be open. They are designed to withstand heavy mechanical forces that develop under fault conditions. fault conditions. Yes, so these are either copper or aluminum, and they are bare rectangular cross-sectional bars or round solid bus bars. So see how the design, this may be a rectangular shape with a high diameter, otherwise it is a solid round shape solid conductor, can be used as a bus bar. Yes, so this is the bus bar is in simply our language you are speaking. This is the intermediate heavy duty conductor between the feeder coming from the transformer as well as the primary feeders outing from the substation. Yes, so that's why the entire load current has to be carried by the bus bar, resulting to design the bus bar in a systematic manner. So either it is used in either copper or aluminum, and they are bare rectangular cross-sectional bars or round solid bars. And the next one is lightning arrestor. Lightning arrestor is a very protective device for outdoor substations. Is very important protective device for outdoor substations. See, the entire station has to be shielded from the lightning. So why? Because all the components are very valuable components or valuable equipments. So unexpectedly, due to lightning arises, the component equipments are spoiled. So to protect that lightning from the high voltages, so lightning arresters are used. Yes. So all the equipment in the outdoor substation should be protected against direct lightning strokes and the traveling waves reaching the station over the transmission lines by shielding the station equipment and can be protected against direct lightning. Yes. So we are observing in the substation. Once you visit to the substation, on the top of the poles or transmission lines, there is a small conductor which is to be grounded at every number of places. Once that lightning arises, it is simply diverted to the ground. Even for cell towers, you can observe at the top of the cell tower there is a lightning arrestor. That too, it is to be grounded so that any high voltages maybe arises, those are to be simply diverted to the ground so that the equipment is to be protected. So lightning arresters plays very crucial role for shielding the entire station which is to be located outdoor. And similarly, auxiliary power supply and battery room. Auxiliary power supply and battery room, these are very essential equipment for monitoring the status of the substation and load of the substation. Yes, voltage profile, everything is to be recorded time to time. Yes, so electric auxiliary power supply or battery room. Electric supply is required for auxiliaries like lightning circuits, air blast fans of power transformers. So transformer is continuously operated device so that overheats are to be generated. It is to be cooled through the huge fans called as air blast fans for power transformer, batteries charging sets, oil serving facilities, compressor units, ventilating fans of the station building, water supply, and in addition to the independent operation of circuit breakers, remote controlled isolator switches, a battery power supply of 110 volts or 220 volts is required. So in a battery room is provided, there is a number of batteries are to be connected and it is in functioning. So where the DC supply is required in the entire station in the form of relay signals, otherwise circuit breakers purpose, and remote controlled isolator switches, whatever it may be, where the DC supply is required, the DC supply is transferred from the battery room. So auxiliary power supply for ventilation purpose, for compressor purpose. There are so many ways the auxiliary, without power we can't do all these operations. That's why auxiliary power supply is essential, even it may be a 33 by 11 kV also. Even it may be a 33 by 11 kV substation also. Auxiliary power supply is required for all the purpose, lighting loads, ventilation transformers, ventilation for ventilation with help of fans, air conditioners, everything is required. Yes, so that is auxiliary power supply, and battery room is more essential in case of the this one, and another one is control room. So this the um, main place in the substation. All the meters are initiated in this room and continuously monitoring it, concerned higher authorities. Is so a central control room is located in the substation where all the metering equipment, relays, and auxiliary controls are installed, and all recording equipment for continuously recording the station. So everything is to be initiated in the control room and record the status of the station. What is the load in the particular time? What is the power factor in the particular time? What is the voltage profile in the particular time? So there is a number of ammeters, voltmeters, power factor meters, energy meter, everything. What is the incoming supply? What is the outgoing supply? Everything is to be recorded up to top to bottom, so that the status of station is to be recorded continuously for the purpose of load utilization. So with this, the substation layout and identification of each and every component in the substation and the description of each and every component in the substation is over. Then the next topic, bus bar arrangement in the substation, we will start from the next class onwards. So thank you.